Hey, what is going on, my friend?
Hey, how's it going?
Not bad, man. Not bad. You're sounding well, at least. Can't see you yet, but I think shouldn't be too long until the video pops.
Oh yeah, sorry about that. I was trying to something fancy, but
You're a fancy man, and we know this. The whole world
yeah.
knows this already, so you don't have to prove it. All good, dude.
All right.
Dude,
Hey, there we are.
also, happy birthday for like I think was it
Oh,
yesterday?
yeah, it was, man. 40 years
Excellent.
old. It's crazy.
You're killing it, dude. You got some of that Mediterranean genes. You're looking fantastic.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and you're wearing all the white lately, and it's like, oh yeah, he's like in living in villas in like Greece and stuff. It's like
Yeah,
that's kind of
that
how
sounds
you.
good.
I dig it, man. I dig it. So, how's the day treated you so far, man?
So far, so good. Really been pretty relaxed. Things are kind of winding down here for the day.
Cool.
Uh, so yeah, another day in the States in the time
Oh
of
wow,
Rona.
the
You
time
know,
of Rona. Please tell me you've got maybe percolating in somewhere in the sort of the dark depths or the unconscious, like a potential retrospective album, Galactic Protector, just a concept album based on the weird like arc of energy that 2020 has been of like craziness at the start, which is basically we had like fires here. Australia was on
right?
fire at the start of the year, and then it's like just the whole denouement of the album could be like December, like 12 tracks, like 2020. You know what I mean? I'm
You
so
know, I
feeling it.
I think it's gonna be part of it whether I make a pointed effort to or not.
Okay,
You know what I mean? It's unmistakable.
no worries.
How
No
are you
worries,
not?
dude.
How are you not gonna be uh, moved by the events of 2020 in a creative fashion? You know?
Indeed, indeed. And there's that whole um, observable phenomena historically, which is the darker the times, the better the creativity and music. You know, the 1930s with like Al Jolson and like the yeah, it's this strange relationship creativity has with adversity that it produces some of the best. But you guys were killing it in 2008 and all the way through, all every fucking album, strength to strength. Galactic motherfucking Protector. Are you fucking kidding me?
Oh,
I, dude,
thanks, man.
you're gonna have to keep me in check. I may want to turn this entirely into a Galactic Protector episode. So,
Oh,
oh man,
I really appreciate that, man. That means a lot.
I want to say this first of all is as an introvert, as someone who, and I resonate with you. So it's like introverts get energy from kindred people and for also fellow introverts. So that's why I was energized to like speak with you and stuff. But just as I started hearing like Room 251 and then how the album, I actually at the end I was like, is it, what oh, it was the perfect length. So I'm not making any commentary. But the sign of a kindred record and a very well made piece of music in terms of the album length is when at the end you're like, wait, that's it? Like, and I had that moment with is it Goodbye Gabriola?
Yeah, yeah.
Beautiful. I
Well, thanks,
fucking
man.
love it.
I appreciate that. I really do.
Awesome. Well, okay, well, you know, we've covered your day, we've covered your year so far, which is basically the same for everyone. First of all, I want
Boy,
to check
right?
because I'm an empath, like friends, family, everyone okay, healthy?
Oh yeah. I mean, we're all kind of taking it in stride.
Okay.
We're trying the best we can. It's myself, my wife, and my two kids. I've got a
Oh,
9-year-old and a 6-year-old. So now, my wife and I are teachers now, and where we weren't before. And it's just a whole new thing. It's a whole new world.
it is,
Uh,
dude. Who'd have thought that it would go this way? Crazy,
Boy,
huh?
no shit, right? But I think it's best to roll with it, and because it's very easy. I can speak from experience to get caught up in the in just how much of a bummer it is, you know.
Yeah, I get it.
So
I
it,
get
it's
it.
yeah. I think it's important to just try to move through that, and
Yeah, I
try.
like it.
Yeah, but it's tough. I'm not.
Cool.
I wouldn't bullshit anyone. It's hard. Things
I
are
dig it.
things are difficult right now. It's interesting,
Yeah,
and it being a you know uh, America really doesn't take care of creatives or musicians, especially musicians.
mm,
We're all kind of in it on our own. pay some of the highest amount of taxes, and we get,
Yeah,
no assistance. Other, Canada, for instance, Sweden, they give grants to their artists to
absolutely.
spread the goodwill of their country and all that sort of stuff. And I guess because America just assumes that, oh, everyone wants to be American, right? Which is a load of shit.
Mhm.
Um, but
I
yeah,
get it. I get it. I want to say this. Like, I mean, so Poland, for example, they give big grants to like the people who are developing like the Witcher series and stuff, and what makes me sad in 2016, just before all the stuff with like the new leadership took place. By the way, as you can tell, I am so fucking amenable and open to tangents. Like, life is tangents. I abandoned interview format bullshit long ago because interviews are just contrived bullshit. So like I'm glad to just kind of flow and riff with you. So when my fiance and I went to we visited America in 2016, so last year of Obama,
okay, okay,
and what we became aware of is that, as well as like people just being, New York was almost like a mythical experience for us because we grow up in some ways mythologizing you guys and the US and stuff.
absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah, but I rightly believe, and this isn't like us sucking up to the US, is like it feels weird that you guys aren't just being who we know you are, which is like just fucking USA in that cool way, not in that scary way where it's some of it has become. And so what we became aware of is like, because it was a bit of a Rorschach actually, or when you started the sentence, you were like, America doesn't take care of its, and I thought you were going to say just people instead of
Yeah,
artists. and
yeah.
and and
Well,
we and we noticed a little bit of that, and it makes, because you are some of the most like earnest and like energetic and creative people, and it's like if suddenly someone could Thanos snap their fingers and all of the population of America and Poland like switch places, like the amount of creativity, like it is baffling that because of the amount of like historically as well, like creativity and imagination that so many US artists like yourself show, it would absolutely behoove the government to do what Poland does, to do what Sweden and Australia and Canada do. Because just imagine, like, you're already unstoppable, but like you would be even more. Like, it's that weird sense of trying to rein. I think it's maybe there's a sense of it like trying to keep you in check, like nudging you down, or something. It's
you gotta,
really, yeah,
yeah. It's I guess the pulling us up by our bootstraps, right?
yeah,
That's that. Yeah, you
that's
gotta.
right.
But yeah, it's an interesting thing. It's You're right or your take on, how you say that it was like a mythical experience to be in New York and stuff like that. It's strange how the American life and stuff like that is kind of idolized around the world, and the art that
Mm,
is taken in, Hollywood, and all the, so much popular music it comes out of America, and yet, you know unless you're tippity toppity, there's it's we're all kind of like struggling for table scraps,
I
you
want to say
know.
this. I'll even, and it's sentence interruptingly awesome because I want to say this both with Kyle and yourself. Like Bandcamp, fuck yeah to Bandcamp, which is just this thing where it's like, here's music, and you have that baseline price or whatever. But I always go way more because or double or whatever, because it's like, in terms of, I mean, streaming, we haven't talked about it, but streaming has a huge part of that. I think that really shifted things, um, the streaming services thing.
Oh, absolutely,
Yeah.
it's atrocious.
And I've got these guys here. I
Yes,
posted
sir.
before. That's right. And I realized to this morning, like, oh yeah, I have more signed stuff from you guys, and I've, as the young people say, thrown more money at you guys out of just that sense of vote with your money. Like, what I fucking love from album to album, very similar to Mastodon, but I think even, I would say even more so. You between albums, maybe with the exception of the first two, because they feel like a companion piece, made so many bold, like, give no fucks creative leaps of like, fuck it, we're doing this, fuck it, we're doing that. And I had such admiration for that. Like, I am not one of those people who need to have the same thing like over and over. It's like the universe is this ever expanding entropic, kaleidoscopically different thing, and why not reflect that? But Kyle was actually bemoaning a bit, and just speaking with a bit of not regret, but just a bit of maybe not sadness either. It was just maybe exhaustion, like existential, like, oh wow, we had huge swaths of people who just wanted us to do the same thing, and I'm like, fuck, you have so much fucking integrity for doing what you guys did and what you're still doing, you know? So like, you have nothing but, and I speak for maybe a silent majority of like sword folk who just fucking love everything you each do individually as people and what you've done with every single album. Not from like a fanboy point of view, but just like, you are eclectic, you are echoing what nature does, which is it diversifies to adapt. Like, fuck yeah, you know? So yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of the band's personality,
Yeah.
as it were. We all kind of, you know, we're not exactly the same, but we're cut from similar cloth. I'd like to think,
Mm.
we're all fabric.
Yep.
I'll say that.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah,
Same fabric, but different, like the design gets different. And yeah.
yeah, different texture, different color. But we're all fabric. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
It's a good way of phrasing it.
we were just, you know, I speak fondly of the time, man. It was a great time doing those earlier records.
Mm.
And then as the band transitioned and into the more give no fucks, I mean, I would risk saying that it really wasn't like that we adopted something. I think that it just creatively became sort of the attitude that it was just, we were just going to do it.
I love it.
And it was, again, like, I don't know if Kyle touched on this or anything, but the Sword never really like talked about stuff a lot.
Yeah.
It was just the things that kind of serendipitously happened.
Yeah.
You know,
Very honest. I always took this from each album cycle, each time. That's why, yeah, I think it even predates the podcast stuff for me, where I was like, if I ever got the opportunity to riff with these people, I would just move away from interviews, because always in interviews, it was just like, you kind of almost had, and I don't see this in a bad way, I say it in a very good way, you had nothing really to say because the work just spoke for itself. And but by the same token, I don't think the Sword podcast, which has now begun in earnest with Kyle and Shivit's episode, what I'm finding now is that as we all grow older, we just have more observations about life, and
yeah.
certainly both. Yeah, exactly. Go ahead.
Oh, the camera pulls back a little farther every year, and you get to kind of,
Mm,
view your existence from
yeah.
a little more of an omnipresent place.
Okay, now you're going into Galactic Protector talk, and I will follow you there. So,
Uh,
how long ago did you start doing Galactic Protector stuff, dude?
oh, I mean, I've always recorded music for as long as I was interested in having a band. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
13, 14, I think that within maybe a year or two, one of the guys that I was playing with had a 4-track, and I mean, that was all over for me. You know what I mean? You could record yourself, listen to what you had done,
Yeah.
and be objective about it. And I felt like it was really eye-opening. It allowed me to do really experimental, creative things, and I've just continued on with recording stuff over the years. I recorded the first 2 Sword records as well, and I'm saying it was like 2015, 2014 or
Okay.
so. Um, I mean, I guess
When did you
if
come
I
up with
could,
the name? I think maybe that's a good time. Like, when did the name solidify?
late in the game.
Okay.
Actually, yeah, no, I've got a version of the album cover with my name on it.
Oh, there you go.
You know, yeah. So it was way late. Like it was, as the record was going to press, it was something that I was like, you know what? I can't do this under my own name. I just can't.
Wow.
I held some strange anxiety about if it didn't meet some expectation in my mind that somehow
Okay.
I would associate it with my own personal failure because it was my name. And I wanted nothing to do with that. I needed it to be something that was merely creative and not anything that I was, I'm not trying to go solo or
No,
anything like
okay.
that. I'm just being creative in it. I happen to be fortunate enough to, have a label that was interested in getting involved. It
Mm.
was so that. But as far as like how it started, really honestly, like if I can boil it down to a particular thing,
Oh, awesome.
yeah. So when we did the Doom Side of the Moon project,
Yeah.
okay, so Kyle's like, all right, man, on the run, you got it, basically.
Yes. Fuck
So of
yes.
course, like, all right, yeah, sure, I do the synthesizer thing. I'll fucking figure this shit out. So I'm kind of like looking into it. I'm like, okay, so I need to like sequence this thing. I need to sequence this pattern. And Moog had just put out that Mother 32. And I'm like, okay, this thing looks like it could probably do it. And the price is definitely right. So let me pick one of these up. And sure as shit, I programmed it and we did the sequence with it. That's what you hear on the Doom Side of the Moon record is the Mother 32 doing the
Yeah.
sequence pattern. But so as I kind of continued to dick with that thing at the house, um, I figured out how to send it MIDI clock from my computer. And that then allowed me to record other things on top of it, which then I could, everything would remain locked into the grid,
Mm.
which is something I'm really into is,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's keeping everything really locked in and making it super razor sharp and tight. Uh, Once that was established for me, and then I could, do all the sequencing I wanted to, write it just the way that I wanted to, boom, hit space bar, and it's
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
off it goes. And then, record 3 or 4 minutes of that, then get the guitar out, get the bass out, get another synthesizer out, and just start, stacking.
Mm.
And then eventually go into a process with like kind of chopping it up and taking things away and stuff. But
I fucking love
I
it.
think that is the Doom Side of the Moon thing. I think is the starting point of
The
Galactic.
Genesis. Okay.
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah, absolutely. That's the box that opened that allowed everything else to flow out of it.
The
Because
entire
once I
universe. Yeah. I
yeah,
like
once
it.
I got that locked into the clock, it was game over. I was just locked in the bedroom at that point and just
Oh,
like, all
I
right, I'll
can
see y'all later.
tell from this
Yeah.
one, the gloaming, like I could just when you connect with a record to the point where when you close your eyes, you can kind of see like, and you have some shots of you, creating, with the synth and everything on your Instagram there. But I did get that sense of like, oh, he just immersed into creating this, and I had like weird mental vivid shots of like you like working on it and tweaking it. And I also saw like it's undeniable, and people give themselves away with their body language. So when you're like locked in, razor sharp, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm listening, and again, I this is my brain at all times. These patterns, that's my tattoos and stuff, and I anything that kind of brings a bit of structure, a bit of like, like in the description of the post, it just basically says, look, if Giorgio Moroder like went even further into outer space and met like a tribe of really zen, chilled out aliens and made some groovy tunes with them. And the way the broad genre I call it, is just put it on and lay back and just listen kind of music.
Yeah.
It's so
Yeah.
good. It's a 2020 album. It's a tonic. I think it was, yeah, like it's a crazy year, and like just to just kick. I am gonna repeatedly listen to this record until we're out of
Appreciate that,
this,
man.
dude.
That's awesome. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
I've always kind of thought that with this project that it was mainly about, record that you just kind of close your eyes and imagine some other shit and
yeah,
take your mind off of whatever it was that you were dealing with at the time. And it was, you know, I'm not trying to say anything with it. I'm not trying
I
to make a
know.
statement. I'm not, it's not embedded with anything. It's just trying to be creative and enjoying, complex chords.
It's fantastic, and I love that it is this thing that is rising for you, Galactic Protector, I have a brother-in-law to be who like basically most of the music he shows me, there's no lyrics, it's just beats,
Uh-huh.
and there's this sense that people put things on not just to study, but like to work out and also yeah just literally just space out, which is
Yeah,
so like, the mental calm that we need to give ourselves because of the onslaught of information and it,
absolutely.
yeah it's the and I want to say because there is this sense of as the kids say FOMO of like needing to constantly be on your phone all that literally all and I try to kind of keep that in check but for a record that kind of powerfully has this and I don't know if you intended this with a nomenclature. I can be a bit over analytical self-admittedly, but Protector, Galactic, it feels like the galaxy's like hugging you and be like, just come away now. Like, come and just like relax
It's
and just,
I think it's open to interpretation, and that sounds great.
I
I
love
like
it.
it. I'll go
Protector,
with it.
I dig it, man. I dig it. And you like the Drake meme? Obviously, I'm such a fucking
Oh
old
yeah,
man.
sure, man. That's great.
I dig it, man. All right, well, let's since it is the Warp Riders 10th
Yeah,
anniversary, I might just cut to this. I'll just edit something in there. It might just be you fucking slaying on the bass or whatever. Like, fuck it.
sure,
I'll
sure.
do it.
I can do that.
I'll do it. All right. Well, immediately, Mr. Birch McGurch. I love that, by
Yes.
the way. Should I
Yeah.
just? But yeah, Mr. Richie.
Yes,
10,
sir.
10 years onwards, intuitively, whatever comes, if I just say the word Warp Riders to you, what occurs and what comes to what comes to be, what comes to mind, and what would you like to say?
I think of the recording session more than anything.
Okay.
You know, the touring cycle about it was really tumultuous
Mm,
and filled with kind of like really interesting pivots,
hmm.
as a band. So I think because of the chaos of that, more of my recollection of Warp Riders is based around the creation of the record itself rather than the supporting of the album on the tour cycle,
Yeah.
you know?
Mm.
Um,
And by the way, Trivet wouldn't mind me saying this. Trivet does rhyme with pivot, so I just want to say
well,
there.
hey, well, how about that?
There you
It was
go.
not intentional, but
Exactly.
yeah,
But yeah, but no, that was definitely an element, and he mentioned that. So did Kyle, and that's why when I had to actually at one moment we didn't take a sidebar, but with Kyle I was like, Kyle, I'm becoming aware that like yeah, it was a tumultuous time, and I think Warp Riders is more of an example of something that is best when looked back on, rather than if you think about like the process of making it tumultuous, lots of changes, but it actually really suits the sort of 10th anniversary kind of to look back format because again as you said that camera zooms out
yeah,
and you've gotten so many more fans and because we have got Dune coming up like all Dune
yeah.
related
There you
things are
go.
just exactly so and I think I don't know if you saw that record so that episode but I really will be doing my best to like ride the Dune waves so to speak coming up in December to kind of do what they did in the 70s, which was when Star Wars came out. That's how Alien got approved. And I just want everyone to be on such a Dune high that they're like, by the way, Kickstarter, Warp Riders, like the board game or Warp Riders, like we'll all be community
Warp
assembled.
Riders, the board game,
You
man.
know, you know what I mean? Like,
Oh, that's funny.
fuck yes. And like the board would just be like Acheron, like title lock,
Could we do
dark
like
side.
Candyland, like shoots and ladders?
Sure. And we'll do it.
Yeah,
We'll have a mousetrap variant as well. It'll be great. Um,
Battleship. That'd be a good one.
That's right. But and as I mean, at the risk of repeating myself, I basically said that Warp Riders is one of those records where it's like a birthing universe. Like over time, it's just you just keep on noticing more. And I think, as you said, like as an engineer and like you recorded them and you know these details. You keep noticing more and more, not just in the lyrics. You keep wondering and speculating, and that's the kind of album that is like wow, worthy of that that moniker of like having a legacy and creating this cult following if you want to call it and I mean I'm as I said I find myself I catch myself thinking about just the visuals of like Night City and like the Chronomancer and like it really was this birthing universe that Kyle was like yeah we wanted to get the graphic novel we wanted to do these things and I'm like I will do everything in my power with like Sword Podcast to like over time, like just make sure that we can maybe see some of that. And I guess the podcast is a step towards that. So
Yeah.
with you and JD, with like the story and stuff, like he brought the story fully formed. Did you guys have any input into like lyrics or concepts or like the story itself?
Zero.
Zero? Okay, there you
Zero.
go. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep all of my questions about, dude, I just want to say like there are so many moments with you on this record that I just like, as I call, I think I called you like the pummeler. No, that was JD, but sorry, that was Trivet. But like I came up with like, in universe names for each of you. But actually, this is a good one. How about just like performing the songs live? What is your favorite Warp Rider song to perform live?
Yeah. I mean, the titular track is pretty sick.
Yeah.
Um, Chronomancer 1,
Mm,
uh, Chronomancer 2.
yeah.
Uh, uh,
I love it.
Actually, yeah, Chronomancer 2 might be my favorite. I
Okay.
think I view it as just this merciless song. Absolute like when we. I remember when we were on tour with Caius Lives and we were opening up for him. We had that in the set every night. It was just. I remember just feeling like we were just bringing some serious fucking heat with that one.
Fuck yes.
Uh,
Fuck yes.
it was a really I love playing that song. I thought the way that that one came across is really good. But it's fuck man, it changes all the time.
Yeah.
Maybe like about every year or so you go back and revisit it and you kind of have a different fresh perspective on it, or just something that you heard about what you did or what the dudes were doing or whatever that you didn't catch on the first time, or sometimes shit slips by you,
I know.
even shit that you do, and you're like, oh shit, I didn't realize that actually that's what I was doing. Fuck, that's badass,
I know. That's what I mean by a living, and obviously the gloaming is this too. I think there are records where it feels like they are someone managed to capture a universe inside a record. And this is why people are like, oh yeah, I wore out my VHS copy of Empire Strikes Back over and over, because like it's the same tape playing, but every time it just feels like you're entering it again. And it's like and not like not many, you can't say that for that many records, how they have a life unto themselves. And I also love, because there's some longer tracks that you picked,
Yeah.
and some ones with some big instrumental parts. I'm like, the path towards Galactic Protector maybe began early, because I think if I were to ask you just genre wise, I know you can be very egalitarian and say, hey, I like both for their own reasons, but your heart, like the heart of Bryan Richie, is it in that sort of Zen, Galactic Protector space, or are you that pummeling, from the music video of How Heavy This Axe? Is that
um
the heart of who
it
Bryan
it
Richie is?
I guess it really depends which foot hits the floor first in the morning,
Oh,
because
that's very
yeah,
poetic. Holy shit!
yeah.
You're
um
wearing white and growing your beard. You're getting all haiku on me. Depending
yeah,
on what I love that. That's very very great.
but I know, because I do feel like both of those people are still very much within me. I don't feel like that I've you know the the 24-year-old that was playing bass in the sword, not caring about how their neck was going to feel the next day and just
Yeah.
giving it 110%.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that dude's still there. He
Fuck
comes
yeah.
out sometimes at the grocery store. You know what I mean? It just kind of depends.
I dig it. I also just had a. I don't. I can sometimes be a pretty powerful manifester. I just had this flash because talking about like long hair and beards. In 2030, I prophesy that it's going to be all of you long hair as fuck, like all the kids in college or whatever. It's all freed up, and you guys go on fucking tour 2032 or something, and it's
I
just a bunch of old fucking dudes with like long fucking beards and long hair just
Let's go.
playing every fucking record like start to finish.
I'll do it.
Oh
I'm
fuck
ready to
yeah,
go. I'm ready to go right now. Can we get the DeLorean?
let's
Let's
fucking do
let's
it.
let's bust out, bro.
Wait, no, usually you want to go back in time. No,
Nah,
that's
fuck
cool.
it.
Fuck it. So I'm doing this thing. We've gone into September. I may need to, make it Warp Riders month or something, because there's just that much that I want to dive into. But I suppose chronologically, so you mentioned that you said you recorded the first two records. Was
Yes,
that?
sir.
Yes. So you had the facilities, and then JD recorded everything with you for Age of Winters and Gods of the Earth.
Well, so I had the stuff at my house,
Mm.
and we were we had started talking to Kamado
Yeah.
Records, and they were kind of dragging their feet
Mm.
on wrapping up the deal, basically.
Right.
And we had gone to this place called Sweatbox Studios here in town, and just kind of checked it out as a place to go record a full-length record for Kamado Records at.
Mm.
And you know, we wait, nothing happens. A month or two later, we get kind of fed up, and we're like, let's just fucking record it ourselves.
Yeah.
Because I had done the demos, the little
Yeah, I remember those.
the little CD EP thing that we were selling on the Trail of Dead tour was some, demos that I had recorded at my house for us. And when the idea was that, hey, we'll record this. If they like it, awesome. If they tell us to go do it again, it's not like we're doing anything anyways. So we'll just go do that. And basically they said, hey, just go re-record the vocals, which I think was just some sort of formality, because they didn't really end up sounding too terribly different, if memory serves me correctly. But it was one of those things where I was just like, yeah, sure, whatever. I was just surprised that they took it. Not surprised. I love the way that it sounds, but I guess the surprise was, this is a major label, and I recorded this shit in my bedroom, or a major indie,
Great. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we did it. So I lived in this like weird house that this, dude had kind of tacked on various aspects over the years. And I occupied this second story loft area.
Okay.
Where I had my bed and all my recording shit set up. And then Trivet, I had him set up in one of my roommate's bedrooms downstairs.
Nice.
So I, had cables all ran through like open windows and shit. It was so budge,
That's fucking great. Ramshackle.
The most expensive mic that I used on that was a Beta 52, which was the kick drum mic. Or maybe the Sennheiser 421, which I used as tom mics. It's a bare bones album. It was done with the most base level, like consumer grade stuff, but
Sounds fucking incredible. And
I mean, I think that it's I frequent a lot of like pro audio forums and stuff like that like hem and haw about all that sort of shit. Yeah, exactly. And I think that while there is definitely a fidelity definitely is an issue, it's always one of those things that I've always had a hard time with, because like, man, if the content is banging, it really doesn't matter what it sounds like.
It doesn't. And call it magic or something, but it really doesn't. And even with because I have these guys, it's just the XM 1003 whatever Sony. It's sort of almost ubiquitous, these guys, and very, very great active noise cancellation. And if I'm running any of the Sword records there, you just pick up on it's like I'm literally there with you guys, like recording it. Like you can hear like the creaks and the and the more stuff like that, the better. I think if you go too clean, then you lose the immersiveness. You lose that. And so was that okay? I want to ask, had you recorded any other album previously that way, or did you sort of get everything together for the Sword back then?
No, I had been doing other stuff with my own band that I had at the time. And so I basically had been doing all of our recording. So when I had joined the Sword, that was just kind of like it was just something that I brought to the table, just like, hey, I play bass real good and I record bands like pretty good. Yeah. So I can do that for us. And I've got a van, so, I kind of, I guess I kind of came in to that, like looking a little extra fly, just for some, there was some stuff that I could bring to the table, like, hey, I can record us for free, we just got to make the time and do it.
I think I resonate with a lot with that because I'm noticing also in our messages, it's like I think you have the same kind of. I mean, my fiance and I, we talk about like emotional intelligence, like energy and stuff like that. And the thing of like, you got it, amigo. Like I like to be that person who like sets things up and makes things happen. And I really resonate with that. I think if I was in a band, I'd have that kind of Bryan Richie kind of energy. It's like, hey, this is what I can organize and let's set this up. And it's cool.
Oh, I'm like the bass player, by the book.
Sure.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? The supportive role.
Yeah.
The organizer.
You do have
Where.
some Geddy Lee within. I know you
Oh
do.
yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Trying to wear too many hats. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Oh,
But
I suppose on that Geddy Lee note, the farewell to Kings with Primus,
oh
we're
yeah,
halted
yeah.
for now, but that's planning on resuming, obviously.
I mean, yeah. They've got it in the plan for July of next year. But
Right.
geez, one can only hope.
I'm
You know.
manifesting it. I'm manifesting it.
Cool. Me too, man. Me
Yeah.
too. I could really, do a rock show.
I
You
just
know.
realized you could almost be like Les Claypool's like half cousin.
Really?
I'm vibing it. It's good. I dig it.
Oh
Yeah,
shit.
along here
I
with
don't
no,
know.
it's great. It's fucking rad. You dig that guy, right? You guys are
Oh,
pals?
absolutely. I mean, I met him one time in passing at this River City Rock Fest that we played in San Antonio a couple years back. They were on the bill as well. And
Mm.
we have some friends that work for Primus.
Okay.
So they had kind of been like, I guess talking us up to the dudes like, hey, you got to, see these guys. Hey,
Oh, you can say hi. That's cool. I dig
yeah,
it. Hello.
yeah, yeah.
Hey, what's up? How you doing? Hi. I'm just speaking with your dad. You guys are great. And hello to hello.
Ah,
Oh, that's adorable. And who did we
yeah,
meet just then?
that was Mr. Nile.
Mr.
Mr.
Nile? Great to
Mr.
meet you.
Nile. Yeah,
Great to meet you.
yeah,
Nile like the river? Oh, hello.
yeah,
Hey, buddy.
yeah,
Hi. Big hugs
yeah,
from Australia. I'll
yeah,
send him I'll send you later. There's this gif of a koala like giving someone a hug. I'll send it.
yeah.
You can pass it on to him.
Perfect. He'll love it.
Yeah, I dig it. Well, where were we? Oh yeah, so Primus. By the way,
Yeah.
I fully actually have an actual Primus podcast in the making too,
Oh,
because
awesome.
these fucking bands, man, like yourself, like as time stretches on, there are more stories. Everyone always has a Primus story or a sword story of like how they first met it, and so as well as I say it like conversations. Hello, this is amazing.
Oh yeah.
Hi.
He wants to show off our cat.
That's so beautiful. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Yeah.
Wow, reminds me of the cat from Secret of Nim. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh
Oh yeah.
man,
Yeah.
that scene used to scare the crap out of me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, Don Bluth. And that again, I have a plan of I want to get these amazing. I've got a Mel Brooks podcast happening as well. I want to get these people on a Zoom call because we still have them. They're still with us, like Mel Brooks.
Oh shoot. Yeah, man. He's getting up there.
Oh, 94, dude. So I'm reaching out, and also Don Bluth, like he's killing it. The renegade that left Disney and did his own thing.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's super cool.
Fuck yeah. All right. Well, tangents. Love it. So, but yeah, Primus, and yeah, so that's happening. And oh
Yeah.
my God,
Yeah.
hey, this is
He-
fantastic. Hello.
Yeah. He's really dying to get in here.
That's fantastic. Hey,
Yeah.
great to meet you. I'm Albert.
Can you hear it?
Can you hear me?
Can you hear it all right?
You put it in.
Don't walk away too far.
Oh,
No. All right.
that's okay. See ya.
He's not. He's a little too young for earbuds. He's
That's okay. That's
Yeah.
amazing. Oh, also you have really good. I want to say this like great dad energy, which is that you didn't like jump on and be like, "Hey, I'm recording
Oh.
a show." You go like, "Oh man, that's." I want to say this because again, the fiance and I talk about this all the time. Is like the more kind of you have it sort of sorted and are like a good dad early on, you avoid so many problems with them later on.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Exactly. So,
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah.
No, it's very important. Oh man, I got the dog too.
Incredible. Oh my
Yeah.
God, it's so many co-hosts.
All right.
Hello. Hi.
Yeah. Oh Jesus.
Please also say hi to your wife as well.
Okay. Yeah, I will.
Hello. This is amazing. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
See, I I was trying to keep out of the having the kids be
That's
too much
it.
in my hair because they're just like, oh, so you're doing something? What you
Aw,
doing? Oh, I'm here.
that's amazing. Amazing. Well,
Yeah.
if I do have a Disney podcast too, so if you guys ever want to talk about that. You might be wondering
Wait,
why all
you
the
got a Teen
podcasts.
Titans Go podcast? Because man,
Oh,
they're
they're like
they're
that?
they're about that Teen Titans Go right now. Oh my God.
Well,
But it's pretty good. I gotta say, as an adult, I enjoy it.
that's great. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think you slid really well. You got good, as I said, good dad energy. I want to ask though, are those is that like garlic cloves on your? You got vampire problems up
Oh
there?
no, it's so we're in Texas here.
Okay.
We're in
All
Texas,
right,
and that's
all right.
cotton. That is
Cotton.
cotton, my friend.
Oh.
Yeah, that is a ring of cotton. Yeah,
Oh.
it's just some ornamental door shit. I don't know. I think my mom might have given it
Ornamental
to
door
us.
shit.
Yeah, ornamental door shit. Yeah,
Love it.
that's what we have in Texas. You know,
That's
you
cool.
gotta have.
I mean, they
But we
just
can say
opened.
it's we
No,
can
you
say
first.
it's garlic cloves.
I will.
It
I
sounds a
will.
little more interesting.
I think you're sorted for October. You know, for
Oh yeah.
Halloween,
No,
definitely.
actually, this is the one from last year. I've been holding on to it. Just recycle. You know.
Do it, man. You know, hey,
Now
it's
I'm
they are the living dead and they're eternal and immortal. So just keep the, you can risk it. Just keep the decorations up. Don't take them down.
absolutely no. It's like it's green,
That's right.
man.
Oh man, dude, I see you're extremely tangent friendly. I definitely have met a kindred spirit. I dig it. But also I wanted to say, so Giorgio Moroder, Never
Yeah.
Ending Story. I'm reaching out. Actually, we do have. I was originally calling it the Never Ending Podcast, but it is just now the Never Ending Story Podcast, where I have this idea of because what fucking lends itself more to a concept record than Never Ending Story? Like the
Oh yeah.
the goddamn thing writes itself. Like I just see the track number 8, Morla, like this massive fucking atmospheric build up. There's actually a band in Australia I want to recommend. They're called Orb,
Okay.
ORB, and they have
Okay.
a song called Immortal Tortoise. Yeah,
Immortal Taurus. All right. I like it.
I definitely check them out. And but I'm actually a big fan of when say something like a hypothetical never-ending story pentalogy that I've been working on. Hypothetical, 5-part limited series thing where it fuses, hybridizes. I really love when Daft Punk did this a bit, but because they weren't in the record as much. But like I love. Do you like Daft Punk? Like that kind
Oh,
of.
do I like Daft Punk?
Yes.
Jesus, yes. Oh
Yes.
my God, dude. I
Um,
worship at the altar of Daft Punk.
well, you obviously probably can get the sense of what I'm building to. So
Yeah.
if not um, a Galactic Protector, like Vangelis style, like music by Galactic Protector, fucking, they're doing it again, like how everything's being remade better and all that, or just,
Oh yeah.
but in a way where I want to like, the best thing about the Neverending Story was the fourth wall breaking shit, where it's like you're reading this right now, and like
Right.
it's
Right.
you not believing in Fantasia that's melting it away. I would love if they did something um, where it's people being on their phones and literally like Fantasia
Oh
imagination
yeah.
dying. Exactly. And so they make this whole meta thing where it's about people coming back to the Neverending Story, and then it's like we get to see adult, like the actor who played Atreyu, who I'm actually speaking with, Noah Hathaway, the guy who played Atreyu.
Really?
Yeah, that's right. We've got that in progress. So
That's pretty cool.
you're welcome to jump on that one if you ever had any questions for Atreyu.
Oh, I mean, maybe I think of something to email you, but man,
Okay.
yeah, boy, I don't know. I'd have to think pretty hard about that one.
Okay. All right. Well, here's what I'm pitching. I just want you to fucking either score the whole thing or be part of like a beautiful compilation where it's like you and Mitch Murder and all these like people who, as you know, the altar of Daft Punk, the altar of Giorgio Moroder, but who have become like sonic universes unto yourselves. Like, gosh, I need that Galactic Protector Neverending Story album, dude. Oh, oh.
Yeah, well, I'll see what I can do. You know, shit.
Okay. All right.
Never say
Okay.
never.
Never say never ending story. I mean,
Yeah,
please do say it. Exactly. Um,
absolutely.
well, we've gone favorite track. We've gone, if you wanted to do, I'm just trying to stay away from typical fucking questions because they're fucking boring. Um, so you and concept record. Hello. What?
Yeah.
You are, okay. The name of the dog, please let us know. And you can say
All
Falcon.
right. No, well, that'd be pretty funny.
Yeah.
But the dog's name is Asia
Oh,
after the Steely Dan record.
oh, you nearly gave me a heart attack because I love the progressive band Asia.
Oh no, yeah, no, it's not. We're not the heat of the moment, Asia.
No, not Heat of the Moment. Alpha, which is
We're Black Cow. Black Cow. Yeah.
I love that. Alpha is the one with the smile has left your eyes and
Oh yeah,
fucking slaying it. Yeah, but
yeah.
dude, I think also
It's
I
a
want
big dog.
it's
It's a
it is
it's a
big dog.
very big dog.
And it's also
It's
Black Dog. Shout out
yes,
Zeppelin. Yeah.
Yes.
Did I tell you how early on, like in terms of, you know how when you're young you can just rattle off the members of a band?
Yeah.
I'll just say like, and this isn't smoke blowing. Don't turn off the Zoom call because you think I'm
Okay.
bullshitting. Like, because you know how people would be like, yeah, Robert Plant, Jimmy Page, and all that. I'd be like, yeah, Trivet Wingo, Bryan Richie, Kyle Shutt, JD Cronise, like
Damn.
that. And I just remember seeing that lineup, and I instantly remembered all your names. You know how some of them it's like some lineups you're like, oh, you remember the lead singer's name and the guitarist, but then you forget the others. There's like all four of you, and now Jimmy Vela as well, which I can't wait to speak with him too about.
Yeah.
That'll be rad. But yeah, immediately like you just became aggressively inducted into like favorite bands of all time. You know, so.
Yeah.
Also, I want to ask in respect to if you do have things, I don't want to be part of like the argument later where it's like if you have to dash to like do
Oh,
family stuff, you're more than
I might have to at some point, but right now we're good. You
okay.
know. Yeah.
Fantastic. Amazing, amazing. Okay, well, obviously, Galactic Protector just released, and I also want
Hmm.
to kind of make this an album about that as well because that was like, yeah, like a day ago. And did you time it to be close to your birthday, or was that?
I read the writing on the wall that this Bandcamp thing was going to be the first Friday
Yeah.
of every month, you know, and even though they didn't publish that they had or were going to do the 4th of September, you know, I was like, I bet that they're going to do this. I don't foresee them not doing this. And if in the event that they don't, fuck it, you know.
Yeah.
It's you know, it wasn't like I put it out there solely because of that. It just happened to it seemed too harmonious to let go of that, to like, you know, I want to do this thing to try to raise some money. I'm about to turn 40. I'm turning 40 on this day. They're having this thing,
Yeah.
you know, like what I should take advantage of this, you
That's
know. So that
good.
was basically about the thought of it, you know.
I fucking dig it, man. Awesome. Well, I love that you also said that there's no war inside you between what you prefer, which is, when you're making music at home, it's you kind of release it. And do you like performing Galactic Protector live, or do you
I've
prefer just?
I've only had the privilege of doing it live twice.
Okay. Right.
I did it one time. There's this thing in town called MondoCon
Oh,
for that.
cool. The poster
For
guys.
yes, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Mondo, yeah, they do the posters and then they do some records and stuff like that. So they're based out of Austin,
Yeah. Oh,
and,
awesome.
and they do MondoCon every year. And they, the guys that are so I have another album before this one. It's called Evening.
Yep.
Um, the gloaming evening. I don't know if you can tell. There's a theme there,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
but
Yeah.
so the guys that I hooked up with to release my first record on vinyl, they had a distribution deal with Mondo,
Mhm.
so their American distribution was handled by Mondo, and so they came over to the States to do MondoCon, and I
Awesome.
really had, I mean, I am perfectly honest, like this, it's not like the most easy to perform material live, because of just the kind of Rick Wakeman aspect of like moving
Yeah.
from instrument to instrument. Like I don't stay on one thing
Mm.
very much.
Mm.
I've kind of I had to really tailor a live set to fit into those bounds.
Okay.
But but the label was coming to town, and I'm like, man, you know, I bet I can put together a show,
That's
you
good.
know. And I reached out to a couple of other like, you know, synthesizer dudes that I had met via Instagram, and just kind of like floated the idea like, hey, are you coming to MondoCon by any chance? Because it's kind of a thing that like dudes do,
Yeah.
you know, just like Comic Con, but it's a little more low key.
Mm.
And one of the dudes actually was like, yeah, I am. And I said, hey man, you know, let's jump on this bill. And
Awesome.
I got him on the bill, and then actually Trivet played as well on that bill, with a band that he was playing with for a second called the Black Drum Set,
Mm.
which was really cool. That was a really cool set. It was like him. The band was him and another guy playing drums, so two drummers and then a two synthesizer guys.
Very
And
Melvin.
uh,
I
and
like that.
and it was really cool because it was not just like the dudes playing the same thing on the drums and not just that kind of power. It was really like kind of polyrhythmic and very interesting. It was
Fuck yeah.
I actually was like shook by following their set because I was like, fuck, that shit was fucking good.
Yes.
Oh damn, I'm about to go up here by myself. Fuck. You know, like I'm a bass player. You know what I
Oh.
mean? I'm in a band. I'm a band dude, you
Now you're
know, and
not.
like
You are a galactic
but
protector. Do you
no, but at that
understand?
time though, it was crazy. It was like you know, really was wrestling with that of just like shit, I'm really about to go do this shit by myself up here. This is crazy. And like I set it up and I did it. You know, I
That's
poured sweat the entire time, you know, but I did it. And then I live a little bit outside of Austin, about 45 minutes outside of Austin, and the town that I live in has a very small club. And I played it around Christmas time, this last Christmas, with some friends of mine here in town that also do music.
Oh, dude, that
And
sounds
that one actually had a live drummer.
oh,
A guy
cool.
learned all of my drum stuff and played that stuff.
Oh,
So
shout out
that,
to that person.
yeah, my boy Ray. Yeah,
Hey.
he really brought the heat on that one, man. Because
Getting a
that's
bit
some of that
prodigy, you
stuff's.
know, like electronic, you know, with the drums. I think that's perfect. I think that's a great mix when you do that.
It was definitely the thought I had moving forward that I wanted it to be in a live setting. I kind of envisioned Galactic Protector being a 3-piece
Mm.
with myself, a drummer, and then possibly a guy that I played music with for 20 some odd years that plays guitar and keyboard real well. This
Great.
guy named Ryan. So
Mm.
I kind of saw it more as you know, I thought it would be more interesting to have a live drummer play some of that stuff, you know, because it is programmed drums and, you know, sure you can, you know, humanize the MIDI track or whatever, but like, I don't
Okay.
know, like I come from a live drummer thing. Like that's all I've ever done is have a live drummer. So it was
All right.
really kind of bizarre to, you know, oh yeah, I put the drum track through the monitors. Okay, yeah, okay. You know, I
I get it.
did it, you know, went with it, but man, it was a unique thing. I'm glad I did it.
Would you
And
do it
I
again? Like,
fuck
would you?
yeah, in a
Okay.
heartbeat.
All right.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm a producer. So my pitch to you, my friend, is
Yeah.
2021. Hopefully, we've got this apocalypse behind us or whatever. And it is, you probably, because you're prolific that way. I fucking swear this would write itself. So it's like, so gloaming is so you're going evening gloaming, and then it's like daybreak or something. You know,
We're getting closer to dawn, correct.
dawn. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, also,
That
Closer to Dawn is an amazing soundtrack. Closer to Dawn. And it's just this fucking, oh man, I just, you know, if only it wasn't so fucking far away, but yeah, like I'm planning like I have to be in the crowd for a Galactic Protector show. I have to.
well,
And
you know, if it's depending on how it goes, you know, if it's just one of me, it's a lot easier to move me around,
oh
you know,
dude, you could
than a
come to
band.
Australia. That would
You
be
know,
rad.
yeah, I would do that. I mean, even if
Yeah.
it was even if it was more just like you know, hey, take this week long vacation. It'll be a financial moot point, but you know, but you'll get to go do it. Do it in a heartbeat. You know,
Fun. Yeah,
man, let's go.
I've got you covered for you can whatever, man. I'll sort you out if you're anywhere in that sort of Canberra, Sydney, Melbourne kind of thing. I'll just
Oh
hit me.
yeah,
I'll make stuff happen.
perfect. I love Melbourne, man.
You
I
are
love I love Perth.
oh
Fuck it,
perfect.
man.
Great. Yeah.
Perth's tight. Perth is like I took this trip to Florida in
Oh
like
yeah.
the late '80s, and that to me it was just the first time we were in Perth. I was like, "Fuck, this is like that time I was in Florida in the late '80s."
In the
And
late
it just
80s.
was it was just exactly. I felt like the sun even hit the same.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Perth
Yeah.
is the most isolated city I think in the world in terms of from big city to big city. It's where Tame Impala hails from, which to me
Oh
personally is,
yeah. Oh yeah.
yeah, I think you and Kevin definitely have some you know, musical DNA together, you know.
I would love to hit a jam with that dude. I think it would probably be gangbusters.
Well, and I'm not kidding with this. I do have Tame Impala podcast. Your reason, like, I'm not an insane person. I just think there's a lot of fucking conversations to have, and all the usernames are
Yeah.
available. So, like,
Right. Yeah.
right?
No, man, that last Tame Impala record's fucking sick.
Yeah, yeah.
I really like the one before that, Currents.
Mhm.
Really like Lonerism.
He would be
But man,
very chuffed, as they say in Australia. When we record, because I am at one point planning on getting him on. I'll cut to this clip for him of you saying this, and I think he'll really dig that for
oh
sure.
man, it's dude is on a different plane, and creatively, it's inspiring.
All right, well, I'm manifesting that, and I want to
Yeah.
say again, I see things, dude. It's like it's that maybe roll your eyes a bit, producer speak, but I see it like on the back of a record, like Tame Impala, like featuring Galactic Protector, or Galactic Protector featuring
Let's
Kevin
let's
Parker.
go. Let's
Fucking
go.
do
Let's
it.
do it. Let's do it. I'd love to have him. It'd be
That's right.
great. I'd love to be involved.
My dude, we're at the 1 hour and 16 mark. I can see the
Oh my
light
god.
has changed behind you. So, which is to say that, what time is it then, man?
Eight. I got 8:16 p.m. on the
Yeah,
p.m. Yeah,
11:16 a.m. Okay,
that's
cool. Nice.
crazy. God, it's so weird. And you're like in tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow. There's my,
Yeah.
my moose from Canada.
Fucking A.
Fuck yeah, I dig it. Um, man, like, what do you got for the rest of your evening? Do you conk early, or you like to stay up?
Oh, it really kind of depends. If the kids force me to lay down with them, then that is usually my kryptonite, which I then am pretty much KO'd. You know
Okay,
what I mean?
that's
But
fine. What are
since it
you
was my
raising
birth,
these kids on? Tell me. We talked about Dumb Bluth. What are you raising them on? Go, go, go.
uh, anything, and vintage Ninja Turtles, Transformers, anything that I grew up on, He-Man. I have basically all of my old toys.
Oh,
Still, I was an only child.
mm.
So when I stopped playing with everything, my mom just tossed everything into a box and just pitched it into the attic. So when I moved out for the first time, I was like, "Oh shit, it'd be cool to have all this stuff." Like there was a china cabinet at the first place I moved in, and the guy was like, the landlord was like, "Hey, if you want this china cabinet," and man, it was just like a light bulb. I was like, "Hey, put all these old toys in there." So I've got all of my old shit, and they play with all of it. They play with all my old Transformers. I got Castle Grayskull and Snake Mountain
Oh,
in there, and they're playing with that. It's
that's
they've sad to say they've there's been some He-Man legs that have popped off, and they're heartbreaking, but it's like
oh.
what they're enjoying it, and
That's cool. I have
it's
to I have to pass on now. I spoke with Randall Lobb, who worked on The Power of Grayskull, which is this documentary on Netflix. He directed it. So I spoke with him as part of the podcast a couple months back. And there's some Eternia stuff happening there as well. And I think Kevin Smith is actually planning a direct
oh yeah,
sequel. Yeah, they're going to
yep.
just launch off of where the original series ended, keep going. And once again, I just want to leave on maybe like tail things off a little bit. We'll still speak for a few more minutes, but this isn't never ending story where it's in the ether. It's actually happening. Uh, all this stuff with Eternia and like He-Man and like Noah Centineo's thing, and they've got directors locked down. And again, I just want to say, like, Galactic Protector just has that thing of like music by like it. I have to see something where it's like music by you.
I would. That is honestly where I would love to land with
Yeah.
music and being creative. Would be to score.
Oh,
Um,
dude, absolutely.
I have some friends that do it
Okay.
professionally. I'm hoping to you know tug on their ear for some advice on how I can get into that world.
Yeah.
Because I know that in a way, like exactly what I do is not like score material, as much as it is kind of like pseudo pop music in a weird.
I want
I don't know.
I'll give you some. I'll all I want to say is like like just to tie it even a bit back to Warp Ride is where Kyle said like it's a rock opera it's telling a story, and even though Gloaming isn't a concept record, like it has a flow to it. It has a narrative, like
Yeah,
how you sequence songs tells a story, and I think
absolutely.
you've definitely got that down pat. All you'd be doing really is a bit like how, you know, with like Blade Runner 2049 soundtrack is
Uh-huh.
like if you just take a Galactic Protector record and you just basically just stretch it out and like
Oh,
just
right.
yeah, and I think
Yeah.
it would be meditative. It would be, oh, it's like a vinyl album as fuck, first of all. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
um
Well, I'll
so
give it a shot. You know
I
what I
love
mean?
already, yeah.
For you, I'll give it a shot.
Dude, I'm fucking behind it. And Kyle just a couple minutes ago, he said he's writing this book, so I'll pick that up and
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
know that you have like this one dude in Australia who's just like all about what you guys are all about, and
We appreciate that. We
truly
really do.
appreciate.
Honestly,
Uh,
I mean, it's,
oh,
we're just some dudes too. You know what I mean? And everyone's just trying to make it,
just trying to
you
make
know?
it. But as I say, it might be daggy, but like, thank you for being who you are and doing what.
Yeah.
It's simple as that. I think that's as
Yeah.
all encompassing as I can express it. So, dude,
Well, back at you, homie.
oh man. All right. Well, I'll get you back on at some point. Maybe if it vibes, only if it
Yeah.
doesn't impede your schedule.
Do
We'll
you, do you have any like crucial Warp Riders questions about like, you
well,
know,
this is your
how,
fault. See, this is your fault because you're
yeah,
so damn eclectic and interesting in all these other spheres that I neglected a bit of that. But let's go. So uh I should ask. So I asked favorite song to perform. So are
yeah.
you locked? Are you have you locked down to like what's your favorite song? Like Chronomancer 1 and 2. That's it.
Well, I'm gonna go with Chronomancer 2 is like an always favorite,
Boom.
and
Okay.
then the other ones kind of shift in and out, kind of depending on my mood.
Okay. All
You
right.
know?
Well, okay. I only have a few others. So if you were in the world of the Warp Riders,
Uh huh. Uh huh.
what would you what kind of role would you have? I know we're talking something along the lines of yeah, go. What would you be?
Communications officer.
Oh yeah. Fuck
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Manning the comm.
Miami the
Absolutely.
Cons. Yeah. As I said, I did that post where it's like all of you guys in that ship and stuff. And you have no fucking idea. I love that you brought up He-Man because the Saturday morning serial TV series, Wolf Riders TV series that exists in here,
Oh shit. In the
dude.
style of He-Man, wouldn't that be
Yes.
something?
Fuck
That'd be
yeah.
so,
Yeah.
that'd be
What is it like?
sign me up.
Done. And it's like 10, 15 episode minutes where it's like Monster of the Week, Planet of the Week. And it's
Yeah.
like, tune in again next week for the Warp Riders, you
I,
know?
I can see it now. It's perfect.
It angers me, dude. Let me just win that lottery or something. Actually, fuck that. I'm gonna fucking dude. You just have not heard the last of this. Like it's as I said, what you did with Warp Riders was it was just the beginning. And I am gonna send. I'm sending you guys those shirts, which I told you
Oh,
about.
right. Yeah.
I'm currently on a quest, literally across Australia, to find the album artist. You know.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were gonna say you were on a quest to find an extra medium. Guy had asked you for an extra medium shirt.
No, that's all sorted. I just print them
Yeah.
off.
All right. Cool. Extra. You got extra medium in Australia? Sick.
Yes. But yeah, Dan McFarlane, I want to speak with him, and when I do, I would love to, because Kyle wants to speak with him too. And
Boy, no shit. Yeah. He's got to get paid.
yeah, exactly. I'll
The
send him all
man
these clips. You know.
has to get paid.
What
You
happened?
know.
But the thing is, I figured I'd mention this too. He is on SoundCloud making,
The fuck?
music of
That's
his own,
crazy.
a
That's
little bit
crazy.
Galactic Protector style. So
Yeah. He had those cool like synthesizer art pieces that were like,
yes.
yeah. Oh yeah.
So I think this is what I'm going to do, and I make this promise. And all Zoom promises are binding by law.
Oh, 100%. It's in the
The
terms of
bylaws,
service
the
or whatever,
bylaws.
right? Yeah, the thing that you hit agree on.
I will find Dan.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
I will find
Sweet.
Dan, and he will be doing He'll get paid for Warp Riders. He'll sort that out with Kamado, but he will be making. What is it? I think. What's the next? What's the third album's title? You don't have to say it.
It's
Like
gonna be some sort of like morning thing.
morning. Yep.
It's gonna that's the vibe of the second one is definitely more like a blooming. So that was
Well,
my
blooming.
my my
That
thought.
works.
You know, yeah, it's weird. It's these things that sometimes you kind of like see into what you're doing after the fact, and like I as I've listened to it, I'm like, oh yeah, this is definitely something that's a sprout situation. This is a new thing. It's a dawn. This is a morning. This is this is when
Blooming
you
dawn.
stayed up all night, and that weird ass feeling that you have at like 7 a.m. after not sleeping, and you've seen the day again, and like your circadian rhythm like resets, but it like fun trips with you for a second. You actually feel like you're kind of like on a hallucinogen, like
Yeah.
that sort of stuff, you know.
Oh well, I'm all of this is getting clipped out and sent to Dan, and the best way that this ends for me, which I will make happen, is I reconnect him with you. Kamado sorts him out, and then
Yeah.
he makes the
And he
album art for your next
does
record. Like
GP2, man. Let's do it. I'm so into it. I love
yes,
his art.
done. His
You
art
know,
fits so well with you, like, and he could do some synth stuff for you, like his like you
oh
said,
yeah,
some sculpture stuff, and
yeah,
oh god, that vinyl already exists in my mind, like the one
yeah.
that, yeah. So 2023 or something, I'll find him.
I know the girl Kieran that did my artwork for the first Galactic Protector record is a huge Dan McFarlane fan, very much influenced and
Brilliant.
used, Warp Riders as kind of like not like a
Touchstone.
yeah, sure, yeah,
Yeah.
yep.
Okay, good. All right.
But
Well,
that
no, oh, no, you go first.
no, man, I love that art. I recently actually stumbled across I guess some shit that Dan had sent us back in the day that was different art with our logo on it and stuff, where he
Um,
had like you know because there's what you have there in the back, the Sword album cover or whatever. There's that piece of art, the Estrella ship with the asteroids and stuff like that
yeah.
there. um and then there's the one with the sword, which is on the hexagon.
Yeah.
um but then there was a couple of other pieces. There was this one with this really cool ship that was like kind of pitched. It doesn't make any sense,
No, that's
but
cool. I know what you
it
mean.
was
Yeah.
yeah, it was but there was a couple of other things that I had found recently. I would never feel comfortable sharing those with anyone because I think they
Oh,
were kind of like
that's okay.
well, as far as like on a I would never put it on Instagram, you know what I
No.
mean, or anything like that, because I think that's just his conceptual things that he was kind of sending us to spitball out of maybe things that he already had as like pieces of artwork.
Hmm.
And that was really cool to stumble upon that here recently.
Okay. That's
Yeah,
right.
that was
Well, I think at the very least, listeners tuning in whose ears just got perked up, it's like we could see some stuff, but it's
there was some like it was some weird like alternate art, I guess. I mean, it's nothing that it's nothing like different versions of the stuff, but there was just a couple of more pieces that I guess maybe he saw them as like a set. I don't really know. I wasn't checked in as part of that conversation. So it was just a file on my hard drive. You know what I
oh.
mean? That I'm just kind of like left to deduce.
Okay, well, all right. Well, whatever you feel, I mean, as you said, not comfortable with like stuff on Instagram. However, when I do track him down, I will see if there's anything with because I do like that idea of creating a chronicle. And if I have everyone's blessing, including JD's and stuff, like to start really sharing the stuff. I mean, Kyle mentioned that 10-page outline, which
Yeah.
yeah. Do you have
Yep.
that at all? Probably. I don't know.
I mean, probably it's, in the depths of my Gmail inbox somewhere,
Oh, dude.
But yeah, shit, dude. I remember sitting in my like little computer room reading that shit when it came through and just being like, damn. Damn. So I guess, because with the
You're
sword thing,
killing
it's like,
me, dude. You are killing me. I want to
yeah.
read that. I will sign
Oh,
a fucking NDA. I will sign an NDA. I will do it. My
yeah.
fiance is a like she did law school. She can write an NDA.
Yeah. Should get it notarized. It'll be fine. Right. Yeah. So it was just nuts. It was, it's not at all like an outline.
Mm.
It's a thing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It is well fleshed out. Um, it, God, the graphic novel thing was something that I was just like, I thought that was going to be the shit. That,
Dude,
because we had
when I
started
yeah.
forming all these relationships with these comic book artists and, these, rad artists that were like, oh shit, the sword, I fucking love you guys. And we're like, what? And it starting to like, be friends with these people that we really, really admired. And it was like, we thought that it was gonna, like, we were like, man, this graphic novel shit's in the fucking bag, but then it just completely petered out. Kamado kind of didn't really support the record I mean, I think every artist has a vision of how they'd like their label to ultimately treat them and support them. And I don't think they lived up to our expectations at the time.
Mm.
but well, regardless, you know, it
Yeah.
is.
But again, this is all, as well as being, it hurts the heart a bit, but it's also fuel because it brings that it makes it all the more important to keep the flame bright for this, because as you said, it exists in some form. And
Yeah.
whatever, if JD at one point, and I think there's no better year for it, frankly, because everyone's just doing nothing. So why not, like, let's flesh it out, publish it, do a like, I'm happy, as I said, I'm a producer, I'm happy to be involved in whatever way I can be to help it happen. Like, I also think if he did just wanted to write it, just like flesh it out and make, like, Jack Chalker, like just a novel like out there,
Oh yeah.
and then people have done this thing where they do a novelization, then they do a graphic novel adaptation of the novelization, and
Yeah, absolutely, man.
dude,
Absolutely. I mean, I think the content is definitely right for it. You know, I think it would just be a matter of, you know, taking the time to make it happen.
I'll ask. I'll deign. I can't believe this is. I feel like a tray like passing through the gates. It's like, am I worthy to ask this question? However, do you have anything from the 10-page outline which you would be comfortable, even just like, for example, there's like Leith is a planet and Estrella is a character, and like
Dude,
details.
like, okay, so it's probably been every bit of 10 years since I read it.
Okay.
So I remember the act of reading it. You know what I mean? I remember hitting the mouse wheel and scrolling down through the words as I read,
Oh,
but
that's
like,
so rad, dude. Did you ever print it off or something? Probably not.
no, no,
Wow.
no. It was one of those that was just like, you know, you get sent an email that's got an attachment. The attachment is the fucking Warp Rider story, you know, and like, you know, oh shit, yeah, JD, this is badass, dude. You know,
Yeah.
very stoked. You know,
Oh, dude. And I just want to say, so like, after this, I said I would have a Galactic Protector nap, but before that, I need to probably just stare in the mirror and be like, we were this close. I think, you know what? Honestly, I think JD, I respect the fuck out of him because he's clearly a fellow introvert like me. Um, I think I think he knows that, like, I think on some sense, I think maybe I have to believe that he knows that the Warp Riders story isn't over. Just knowing that there's that much already developed, like, it's all, as you said, it's already been written. Like, there's a thing that exists out there. And um sometimes it can feel, when I'm talking about it, it's like, I don't know if he I don't know if it's intentional, but there is a mystery and a mystique building up around it, around the scarcity of information about the expanded universe of Warp Riders.
of
And
course.
it's just, it really rewards this kind of thing of like having a podcast about it, speculating about it. And did I tell you that people have written like proper Dungeons and Dragons stuff to do campaigns inside the world of the Warp Riders?
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
My friends and I, they're actually developing I'll have to, in the edit I'll bleep this out because it's super top secret, so you can't repeat it.
Okay.
Um, but they're developing a RPG series called Bug Punk.
Okay.
Basically, kind of takes a little bit of what kind of Dune does and just like make it about yeah, I think it's just this one planet, but basically it's just bug-based society, like bug mounts, and like instead of horses, there's like bug-sized horses and all this stuff. And they are in the middle of doing like I'll just show you something. Have you seen the trailer for the Green Knight by?
Mm-mm.
You haven't? Okay, so
No.
have you seen The Witch, that movie by the A24 studio, like The Lighthouse and Hereditary?
Maybe.
Okay,
I don't think so.
I'll just show you something. One
All
sec.
right. Yeah. Yeah.
So, just this this is how this is the world we live in. Fucking Jesus Christ! I'm getting really, I'm Italian, so I get really like aggressively happy. All right, Bryan Richie. Fuck. So this is A24. This is Dev.
All right.
Yep.
Okay.
Go see it. It's this trailer for this amazing film, which is, it's obviously COVID has impacted the impacted the release, but of all these things that like they're making a board game for, it's this indie film, right? This
Oh
is a
wow. Interesting.
and that's Dev Patel, and that's like the, in the trailer, and it's fully produced, and it's the same studio that did like, Ghost Story, all of these Oscar nominated films, and a very serious like film studio, like almost like an art house film studio. Almost, if you want to think about it, like they're creating board, like there can be a board game for anything. We
Oh,
really
right, right.
so
Yeah.
I to whatever degree I can help or be involved or in any way fully do justice to what I think. Because again, Brian, you believe in multiple, like multiverse kind of shit.
Sure. Fuck
Say,
it.
say Kamado got their shit together, say all of that, whatever. We'd be talking with you with a giant fucking, I don't know, like preview teaser poster for coming 2021, the Warp Riders Netflix animated series kind of shit. You know what I mean? Like,
Damn.
you know what I mean?
Come on, man. That's now we're talking.
Now we're fucking talking. And the
Now we're
thing is,
talking.
this isn't like, Pink Floyd had The Wall, and
Yeah.
and
Why
this,
not?
why the fuck not?
Why
Especially
not?
when it's so
Why
rich.
not?
Why
Why
not?
not?
So I
Why not?
will exactly, dude. So like I said, we live in that timeline though, where this stuff is for real. Like that is almost incongruous if you think about it. It's like seeing I don't know, what's like an art house movie, like like a Sofia Coppola, like a Sofia
Okay.
Coppola movie just getting like a an SNES adaptation game, like a 32-bit side scroller. Like everything is everywhere, everything can be adapted into everything. So considering how fertile creatively that is, and considering
Uh-huh.
how it's just a matter of it, having enough backing, having enough followers, having enough
Right.
attention on it, if I will do what I can to really generate that sense of like the demand. Like I will fucking create a demand for this fucking thing. And JD will have to be like, "What's that noise?" And he'll like open his in Austin. He'll just open his curtains and be like, "Oh shit, I better fucking release this shit now," And
Yeah.
all I want to do is in 2024 just meet with you guys at the fucking Netflix animated series screening and
Oh man. Yeah, there we
what the
go.
fuck? Exactly. 2020. Remember those podcasts we
Yeah.
did where I
Yep.
manifested this shit?
Yep.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Who would you? Okay. Here's a question. Who would you think about playing Aerith in this completely hypothetical animated slash live action Warp Riders shit? Who gives a
Fuck,
fuck?
man.
Who gives
I
a
am Keanu. Duh.
fuck? It actually would be perfect to have a de-aged Keanu be this fucking archer.
Yeah,
That would
why not?
incredible. He does
Why
look
not?
kind of alien and strange. Also, he is fucking kickstarting shit. Like he just kickstarted
Really?
his. Yes, it's so funny you would mention him specifically. He just kickstarted his own comic book, Berserker.
Wow. Interesting.
He needs to voice Aerith in this fucking thing.
Oh, pardon me.
You'd be down for that if he voiced the hero of this?
Oh, Keanu, dude. Keanu can do whatever the fuck he wants.
I'm sorry, but again, we live in a world where there's Bill and Ted. There's Bill and Ted 3. Okay, anything can happen.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Dude, I'm not gonna be. Well, it's obviously not sleeping time for me. I was now. I'm just amped. I'm just gonna be sketching all these fucking things. But dude, okay, so now it actually is going into the 2 hours, dude. It has been fucking rad.
Oh,
It has
cool. I
been
mean, I
so.
appreciate it.
I actually, I mean, I have a million others, but like, yeah, I want to obviously would love to get all of the band in a chat at one point. But this absolutely won't be the last. I mean, I'm only a few albums away from starting a Galactic Protector podcast.
Ah, cool. Well, I'm here for it.
But okay, I suppose I'll ask, just in terms of your like creative input output landscape now.
Uh-huh.
Have you been watching like series TV wise, listening to music wise? What's in your kind of
Oh shit.
creative soup,
Um,
the soup of Bryan Richie?
so I've been after everyone else seemed to watch it, I finally got on board with Ozark
Okay.
on Netflix, and so I've been going through that, and that's actually one that when I mentioned that we had some buddies that do scoring, we know the guys that score Ozark. They used to be in this band called Tarantula AD that Kamado were label mates with,
Oh
and
fuck, that's amazing.
then we toured with them. We took them on tour because we thought they were so badass. And two of the dudes, Danny and Sonder, had started this thing. It's called like Renfort Charles or Charles Renfort, but it's some pseudonym that they go over or go
Go
by,
back.
and
Yeah.
they score films and stuff, and they got hooked up with Jason Bateman.
Oh,
and
dude.
and they're doing Ozark stuff. So like anytime I hear a cello or anything on like Ozark, all I think of like is, you know, watching Tarantula AD play in Tallahassee, Florida in 2008, and just, you know, just sweat pouring through my back, and like watching Danny like play a cello, and just,
Oh,
yeah, it's just this weird thing where I'm just like, you know, I love the show. I think the show's awesome. And then I get like really fucking hyped because these are like people that I know that are making the music, and
you're
it's like,
so close, dude.
yeah, I'm
You
like,
are
fuck,
so
man,
close.
that's a. I bet I have seen the cello that's being put. God damn, this is badass. You know, I just love it, and I thought that they were so cool
Mm.
as not only people but as a band, and Saunders specifically. Like I remember at the end of one of the tours, he dropped me the CD, and I guess he could kind of tell that I was in that my I cast a wider net than just heavy metal, and it had all this shit on it that is some of my favorite music to this day. You know, that I really kind of credit him to opening my eyes a little bit more to like world music and
Yeah.
stuff. And yeah, so man, that's been one of my favorite things lately. Obviously, watch Tiger King, just because for the lulls, you know,
I'm
just because
never
it
gonna
was,
financially recover from this.
fuck, that shit was ridiculous. It was, and now they've got old Carol Baskin on Dancing with the Stars this season here in America, and you know, God, she's like
Don't you need a dancing partner who hasn't been eaten by tigers for that?
yeah, right, dude,
Come
some
on,
sort of fucking shit, man.
dude. You are fated. No, I was going to say intended. No, you are fated to do scores for some of these things. It's like that. There are so many. For example, like the DC thing just happened where and obviously I have to think about what fits within your kind of purview and your style. But just to give you like they're doing a Dune series
Uh-huh.
called The Sisterhood, which is going to be a prequel to the Villeneuve film. Villeneuve is actually going to
Oh,
direct.
right.
He's going to direct the first episode. HBO Max. That is right for Galactic Protector conquering. You know,
Oh shit, that sounds cool.
dude, it's yeah. We need that. We need your voice in that sphere.
I'm there. I'm there. Man, can I tell a quick Warp Rider story?
You gotta please, dude. We have all
Okay,
the time.
so sure. Well, I'll just tell a quick one, and I probably should go tend to the kids. But
Go for it.
Matt Bayless, you know, we had Matt Bayless come and produce that record.
Yeah.
You know, it was a massive fucking deal to me. I was a huge Minus the Bear fan. Still am. But
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like at the time though, man, remember just thinking like, man, this stuff is the shit. I loved it. You know, I loved the way it sounded. I loved just the creative aspect of it. I just thought it was really cool indie rock or whatever. So, you know, we find out this guy Matt Bayless is involved in this band, and oh shit, he's done these Mastodon records
Blood
too,
Mountain.
and they're badass, you
Yeah.
know. Okay. So he had gotten in touch with us during Gods of the Earth, and we were already pretty deep into recording it at that point. I want to say that we were pretty well done,
Mm.
but we had made either like a Twitter connection or a fucking MySpace connection, or one of the two. It was an early, maybe it was even Friendster, I'm not even sure, but it was an early social media connection that we then, you know, nurtured into him producing this third record. So um, he comes down, and you know, I'm really proud of these pickups that I've put in my bass. I'm really excited about my Seymour Duncan quarter pounder pickups that I've lovingly installed in all of my basses.
Yeah.
I've got 3 of them at this point, and we start tracks, and he's, you know, all right, man, bring all your basses up there, and so I bring my basses, and he you know, plug the first one in, I'm jamming out, and he's like, all right, cool. And next one, and gets through it. He's like, man, I really don't like the sound of any of your basses. I need you to go buy a new one. And so he shamed me into like going and buying a new bass. Luckily, there was a spot in town called the Bass Emporium, which
Wow.
was, yeah, I know, right? That's some Austin shit for you. There was like a specific bass store for a little while. Sadly, it's not there anymore.
Oh.
But yeah, it went long before COVID. But you know, I rolled in there, and they had all manner of shit, and they had this like pretty worn 78 P bass, and I was like, you know, this one is it. This is the bass, you know, and I kind of made that decision before I even like held it really. Like I wanted it to be the bass, and then I picked it up and it weighed like a ton. And the neck was just like a fucking boat. I was like, you know, I think this is going to be it. And
Wow.
that's the bass that you hear on the record.
That's
And,
amazing.
and honestly, that bass has been, I mean, I take that bass to every session that I do. It's
Same one.
Yeah, same one. Yeah, it's heavily featured on Used Future too, because it's just, I call it Trusty P, because
That's
he never sounds weird. He never does weird stuff. He's
so
Trusty P.
reliable. And
He's
that was
he's
Matt.
always reliable.
Matt
Yep.
like kind of prompted you. Also, like I said, it's a testament to how eclectic and like wide ranging and like multifaceted you are that we went into these other directions. But the next question on my tongue was like, do you have a Warp Rider story you want to share
Yeah.
before we
There
tell
we
things off?
go.
And you just Galactic Protector mind read me. Like
And it's mind meld that shit,
mind
man.
bells. That's right.
Yeah.
Dude, this has got to be the most kindred chat I've had on a podcast so far. Like so many
Oh,
kind of common
appreciate that.
aspects. It's been so rad. So I will definitely chime back in with you about anything I get happening on the it'll all be absolutely 100% with all you guys' blessing. And the whole idea is anything I do to get people together, creators together, we can crowdfund in like deviant art, like a beautiful like creative you know, graphic novel based on Warp Riders and like dedicate it to you, so that then real publishers like they'll notice and they'll be like, oh, there's excitement around this, and then we can kind of kickstart something there. And like, but this is all what I want to say. This is like art doesn't commonly do this, which is have a legacy, which is have these creators who have the all of you are so multifaceted and so on the level of like creators. Like you're not just there to just be there and kind of punch in punch out. Like all of you are your amazing creative universes unto yourselves, and then to create this material, which I said like and I'm happy to go on like record, we will cut back to this a couple decades hence, like the myth of the sword and what and that sense of that is what people remember. That is what people respect, which is artists that really follow their own authenticity and follow their own integrity. Because everything else just becomes a mush that it just doesn't really have an identity and doesn't really have a legacy. And I consider it actually we're vibing. Like I feel like I met a friend for sure, but just to kind of step back and really say like I've been so honored to speak with you to
Oh, thank you very much, man.
for sure, dude.
I
Like
really appreciate it.
you're contributing to like creativity that has like soul, that has like substance, and that has like I said, a legacy and so much promise for the future. Like we spent so much of this episode talking about what's ahead as well. So
Yeah.
um
I'm
fucking
looking forward to it. You know, every day is a good day. You know what I mean?
that's great. Hey, that's a good note to end things. It is every day is
Absolutely.
a good day.
Every day is a good day.
Dude, giant hugs from Australia.
I appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. The koala.
I will. I'll send it right now. Blessings and love and good health to you and yours for the rest of this year and going forward. And I'll chime back in to have another chat.
That sounds great, man. Thank you so much for your time, and all the best to you.
See you, brother. Take it easy. Nice to
Heck
meet
yeah, man. Take care.
you. See you, man. Bye.
All right, bye.